The Hoover Board of Education meeting is now called to order. If you choose to do so, please join me in a moment of silent prayer. Thank you.
Now I'll ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have before you the agenda for today's board meeting. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is approved. We will now have a time for recognition. We are happy to have State Representative Paul DeMarco, who will recognize one of our school's accomplishments. Hey, Paul.
He's here. One of them. Mr. Mitchell. It's okay.
Yeah, we're here to recognize Brocksgap Intermediate School for receiving the 2014 National Green Ribbon School Award, and I'll let him explain real quick about that.
I was told to do this again as a new audience, and I appreciate last month too. All the principal was excited getting called to board office because last time I got a recognition from the board, and this time I got a check and a recognition. Getting better. But the Green Ribbon Award is awarded each year to approximately 50 schools across the nation, and Brocksgap was the first intermediate school in the state of Alabama to be recognized, one of the 3 schools from the state to be recognized, not only at the state level, but then again at the national level for 2014. It's an award that kind of encompasses a lot of things that go on in our school. Our green team kind of compiled a lot of data of things that are going on around our district efforts, our ELI program, our operations department, things that go along with central office operations as well, as long as what our teachers are doing as well in the areas of environmental education, conservation of resources, and community involvement. And so we were excited to be a 2014 recipient of that award. This year we're getting a lot of recognition for the hard work that we did last year, so we're excited to be part of that.
And so on behalf of the state and Alabama House of Representatives, thank you very much for producing this resolution.
Before Mr. Marco leaves, I want to thank him for how hard he worked with many legislative things that we had during his term. He cared about Hoover. He was conscientious of keeping us in the loop on all matters, and he served us well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Very much. Next, we'll call on our college and career counselors who will share with us the names of some outstanding students at their schools. Cindy Bond, Hoover High School, and Tracy Prater, Spain Park High School, will introduce these students.
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Craig, our Board of Education, for having us here to recognize some wonderful students. And I told one of my students that my comments, believe it or not, will be extremely brief, because we're not here to talk about me or even look at me, or Ms. Bond for that matter, even though she's a much better sight. We're here to recognize them for national merit and national achievement. I'd ask the students from both Spain Park High School and Hoover High School if you begin making your way to the front. We're going to go through. All right, see, I love it. We're going to recognize you individually in just a moment. tell you a little bit about the competition that these students have entered through the National Merit Scholarship program. Based on their PSAT scores that they took as juniors, these students have distinguished themselves in our nation. About 1.5 million students enter this scholarship competition. And from that, it's narrowed down to 16,000 students as semifinalists, National Merit semifinalists. So we have a good showing for Hoover City Schools among these students. And in February, we'll find out if we take the next step, which I'm incredibly biased, but also incredibly sure we will, to National Merit finalist standing. But just achieving the level of National Merit semifinalist or National Achievement semifinalist is extremely commendable, and I couldn't be more proud, and I know the parents that are represented here are proud as well. So I'll let Ms. Bond say a few words if she'd like to, and then we'll call our students.
Absolutely. I think it's such an important opportunity as a school system to recognize our students in a positive way when they've done something like reaching a level of scholastic achievement to be the top 1% of the nation. What an amazing thing to have accomplished. But I'll tell you, the more amazing thing is that these kids are not just sitting in the library. They are doing incredibly creative things on the stage and in the classroom. They're also on the athletic field or in some type of competition, scholastic competition, and represent our schools beautifully at every level. Whether it's they're standing alone or whether they're standing in a group, it is something for us all to be very, very proud of. And on behalf of the students, we'd also like to recognize our Board of Education and the parents and all of the guests that are here tonight, because our students also realize that it took the support of the entire community to kind of get them where they are. I'd like to also bounce off Mr. Mitchell's comments that it's so nice to be here to receive a check. What's so nice tonight is that these students will be calling before you should also be receiving checks. So we're going to begin and just call forward the Hoover High School students. And we would like to ask, when your student's name is called, if you are a parent or an invited guest, will you please stand in support of your student? After your student's name is called, feel free to be seated. We would like the students to stay lined up across the front so you'll be able to see them all together as a very good-looking group that they are. And I know the students will want to take the opportunity to also shake the Board of Education's hands and thank them for all they've done. I'd like to ask Mr. Hewlin to come forward at this time, and we'll call our Hoover High School students, and he'll be handing you your certificate and also shaking your hand. We'd like to begin with Denai Argyapulu. Next is Richard Chin. Jeremy Chow. Tyler Comfort. Robert Danny John. Corey LaFleur. Alла Marie Schaff is not able to be here tonight, but she sends her regrets that she's not able to receive her certificate. We will give that to her in the morning. Savannah Stanley, I don't think Savannah was able to attend tonight either. Let's see, Marshall Strickland. Rebecca Townsend. And Beryl Van Ness. And we're going to ask the Hoover students to remain standing as they call the Spain Park students forward. And we did not mention earlier, but after this part is done, many of our students have other activities that they have to immediately leave to participate with, and many hours of homework left to go tonight. So once the Spain Park students have also been called forward, and just close with the thanks, then our students and guests can actually come out to the courtyard area, not courtyard. Thank you, atrium, for a picture opportunity.
I'll ask Dr. Zard again, if you would, our principal, to come forward to present these certificates.
Thanks.
And we'll begin with Jackie Randolph. Vina Christian. Sebastian Shorman. And yet another very busy student who sends her regrets is Tanya Devani. Again, on behalf of both schools, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to the parents of these wonderful students. They make us look great every day, and they're such an honor to work with. Thank you to our school board. And one more round of applause for the whole Thank you again.
Maybe you'll share the check with me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the minutes of the regular board meeting on October 6, 2014. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Next is the personnel report. Any questions for Ms. Veal? Is Laura here? Okay, I'm sorry. Any questions for Ms. Veal?
I did have a question, Madam President. I see a custodian is retiring, Ms. Bill. Sorry, we usually see that here. What are we doing in that position since we have a retiring custodian?
We have a temporary agency that we will use to replace that person. That's a non-GCA school, so we'll be placing a temporary there.
That was my question. Thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Veal? If not, do I have a motion to approve the personnel report?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The personnel report is approved. The business items are before you. Any questions for Ms. Ante? If not, do I have a motion to approve the business actions?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The business actions are approved. Next is information reports. Mr. Craig?
Mr. Phillips, Brian Phillips, our Chief Technology Officer, has got a presentation for us, an update on our Engaged Learning Initiative. He's going to use the screen, so we can spin around or take a couple of seconds.
This came about because a few of you have asked me where we're at, how things look, where we're standing today. So I put together just a quick, it will be 5 minutes, I hope. It'll be a little longer because Mr. Gasson was nice enough to make me a quick video this morning to tell you some different things and show you some clips. So I'll take you to this point. Everything that we do now runs through hcseli.com. ELI is the Engaged Learning Initiative. I'm sure you've heard that before as many times as I have now. So over the past 3 weeks, we've been getting the Chromebook ready for grades 3, 4, and 5. So things there have picked up quickly. These are pictures of Everest being getting ready. It says pictures at the bottom of the trucks. Kids smiling, members of our team. The picture at the top left is the facilitators from the local buildings. And that's us going over them, what it looks like when we start, what they need to go back to tell their teachers, and what they can expect day one. Same thing there. It shows even Dr. Wheaton carrying Chromebooks around and all this stuff. She was pretty excited. They all are. Ms. Barber said something to me when she came in today. Today's the first time she had seen one in a classroom, so she was pretty excited. This video Mr. Gaston put together is just a quick what it looks like, as some of the kids say, Christmas morning.
The tech coaches out in the hall, they were pretty excited. They are so excited. They can't wait to look on like, what's our first lesson going to be? The kids are so excited. We put a lot of work into it. We tried to make it as easy as possible on the teachers. We want to make it fun. We don't want to make it work. Well, we've been working very hard on this process all summer, preparing our teachers. So what we did was we brought in a team from each school, and we called them the UI facilitators. And so we worked with them all summer, preparing them on how to use the Chromebooks in their classroom and how that can impact their kids instructionally.
Chromebook for us is one of those manageable. We can tell you exactly what that kid has and has not done. We can feed things directly to that device. We can basically give them every tool they would need for the classroom. Things excitement that you don't get to see very often. A lot of times that's what keeps me going. That little bit of fire, because you can probably go day to day before with burning on, counting on, making sure you have the right device. But once you see the payoff and see what the kids are doing, it kind of relights your fire every day. And to my point there, I said that's lights your fire. It is. I mean, this has been fun, but that's not what our end result. Those smiling faces aren't our end results. Those are just what we're getting right now. But it's just beginning of those kids. I mean, we're seeing the payoff at the high schools now and the middle schools, and seeing some amazing things. But those smiling faces are what will make it easy to get up every day and come back and keep working through this, because it's tough to keep everything in the right hands at the right time. So other things we did, we added Synergize. Synergize basically is a tool that we lay on top of our Google Apps platform. So many of you are accustomed, you know what Khan Academy is. Think about this Khan Academy for Google Apps. So if a teacher looks at something and not really sure what they are, what they're doing, what they need to do, that training button at the top right-hand corner, they can click on it and it basically walks through that step. Same thing with kids. Kids don't know what to do. They can click that button and go through a quick tutorial. Google Classroom. Google just dropped this a couple months ago. Most of you know I've drank that Kool-Aid. I'm pretty much sold on that Google's the right way to go. This is the first thing Google's ever built specifically for a group of people. They built this specifically for education. They've never built anything except something to make money for them. So this is the first time they've stepped outside and gave them something for us. It's basically an online classroom. You take a LMS. It's not mature yet, but it's getting there quickly. Hapara is basically a way for our teachers to share documents with students quickly and easily. So it basically builds that online classroom. A teacher can send the same file to every kid at one time. She can tell every kid in the classroom to open this web page at the same time. It opens automatically for them. Kids off task, she can close that tab or that browser and bring it up on something that's back on task. It's just a management tool. It's amazing when you see it. Google Drive. I'll show you some statistics in a minute. That tool, you can't, there's no way you can tell me what that's actually worth today. So implementation. Here's a quick little video. This is a team calendar. So Team 8-3 at Simmons basically uses this to keep up with everything they're doing day to day. Agendas, homework. The whole team knows what everybody else is doing. That's just one example there. Here's a blog that a teacher does. So every day, this English teacher assigns her homework there. It goes back through. The kids can post to it. She can post the daily assignment. A kid misses class that day, they're at home. They can pick up right there and go with it. A lot of times you'll see them do this along with a video from YouTube or a Khan Academy video or something along those lines to pre-teach the day before, to flip that classroom. There's her blog. Forms. Teachers use this as a quick check at the end of the day. What did you catch what I teach? Did you pick up what I was saying? You'll see those a lot. This is probably one of the most amazing things I've seen. So this is a calendar. Here's what the teacher taught that day. Everything that has to do. Here's a video. Here's the notes. Here's what page in the book. Here's the IXL lesson to tie to it. Hey, if you want to copy this in your calendar so you have it, click this button right here. The kids now have it on their calendar. Assignments and agendas. So here's Team 6-1's assignment for the day. I can literally click on that and see every assignment for that day. So when when you get home with your kid, your mom goes, hey, what do you have for homework today? You can't lie to them. Your mom can go to it, pull it up right there. And the other teachers can see, so you don't have that 4 hours of homework every night. You hopefully share the time well. Growth. I'll show you this. This is live statistics, so it may be a little slow pulling up. So this is for the last 6 months. You can see how we've grown since the first day of school. Crazy.
What is that, Brian?
That is the number of drive contains, but contents basically. So if you'll look right now, we have 1.4 million emails going through there to the students in the past 6 months. If you'll look right here, let's see, 21,000 users, but only, there's a statistic I'm looking for. Oh yeah, here. This number right here, 1 million documents in Google Drive at this point with our kids. So 13,900 kids have 1 million documents at this point. All that lives in the cloud. We don't pay for anything there. It's all backed up 10 times a day. They can get there. So quickly, anything you need, you want to see, this is the live site. We're going to redo this. This started off with 2 items, and as we've grown through the year, you'll see how this has gotten a little out of hand. So we're fixing to redo that, get it where we want it. Kid wants to do a service request, it's right there. Here's Google's new page on data security. One thing I'll show the parents, and it's a big deal. This privacy page, we update this all the time. This is where your kids' information is, where we share it, where we pull it down. It's as detailed as I can give you. Most of it's directory information that when you sign off, it's there anyway. The kids, it's directory information. It's available to anyone. That's as detailed as I can get it today. These are other things we use. This on the right-hand side is all their privacy policies. You can pull it. Everything a parent should need is right here, though. If you have any questions, you can always contact one of us. I'll answer. Here's our blog every day. Well, not blog every day, but as much as we can. Same thing. It's day by day. It's different lessons teachers have done. It's different things you can see. It's exciting. It keeps everybody going to look at what's there. If you have questions, let us know. I'd like to invite y'all out anytime you want to see anything we can put together. High schools are flying at this point. They're doing things that I never thought we could do. Middle school is the same way. Elementaries, they're starting now, so it'll be a good point for you to see. Literally, I can be having a bad day, worried about financial stuff or whatever else, and I can walk into a building within 15 minutes. I know why we're doing this. So, any questions, let me know. You have any questions now? Yes, sir.
Ryan, you mentioned 1 million documents that are stored in the cloud, or 1.5 million emails transposed or transferred in the last 6 months. Can you address a little bit about the concern of data mining by Google as an example?
I can. Had a conversation the other day with 20 people who are doing the same thing around the United States. It's not data mining, it's data collecting. So the best way I can explain it to you is Google does store all the information. All that's in the cloud, it's their information. They don't use it anyway. They will never monetize it. It's basically for research purposes for private accounts. So they're going to look at that data and they're going to see that students age 12 through 14 all search for this thing. So on their private accounts, when they go back and look at how to sell those ads, they'll sell ads for 12 to 14-year-olds to 12 to 14-year-olds. It's just aggregated data. It's never used, it's never stored. I'll show you their page. It makes the most sense of anything I've seen. Trying to think how I got the other day. Yeah, this basically privacy is an FAQ, anything you want to. Is Google using my data? That's what they explain to you. Now the good thing is that data I have access to, I showed you. I can go here and I can look at how we've grown, what day we did what. I can actually go down, I don't want to show any kids' names, so I gotta make sure. I can look at what kid logged in where, what time. So when you get into I can look at what's publicly visible. So how many documents are actually outside our domain. See that? That's a good thing to see. Nothing at that time was shared outside. Shared with a link only. So that means it's not publicly searchable by any other search engine. Does that make sense? Other questions?
Yes. Can the parent only see it by looking at the child's notebook? Or can does the parent have access?
Yeah, the parent has access. They can use their student's ID, to their home computer, iPhone, anything. They can log in at that point, and they can see the student's information at that point. Google Drive, it's as easy as once they log in, they can click on, we call it the waffle. And they can click Drive, Sites, Calendar, Mail, anything at that point, pull it up and look at it.
Instructors are required. Now you're going to have parents expecting homework assignments. I mean, mine used to tell me, I don't have any, of course, I'm sure. If the instructor is going to be required and monitored, if they don't have homework, say no homework, but at least they've got to have something there so the parent knows.
It's not monitored by my team. They're probably a building level decision at that point. I think that would be a good idea. I know my son's teacher puts homework out a week in advance. for us to look at. So it's actually next week's work as of this point. But I think that's a building level decision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very complimentary. Most instructors, it was there. But then sometimes, I don't know why it's not there, and we can't get it through the child. So I'm sure as it evolves, there'll be some accountability.
We call it ballpark accountability. When they get to the ballpark and they go, "What? Hey, did you see so-and-so's homework?" "Well, no, I didn't." It gets back around to the teacher.
One thing for sure, the dog did not eat the homework.
If it did, you do a service request and let me know. Any other questions? Thank y'all, and I'll send you an email, follow up with some information if you want it. And like I said, anytime we'll put together a day, if you're welcome to come out and look at what actually happened in all 3 levels. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Mr. Craig, do you have anything else?
Meg, there's one question, Madam President. I believe Mr. Phillips put this together relatively quick. Was that for today? Did you put this together for today and want to get it to us?
I put it together today.
Yeah, today, okay. Can we possibly, I know sometimes we can't avoid it, but possibly put it on the agenda if we can, maybe reissue it back out to everybody that's on the list for the agenda. You know, I think the more you put on it, it gives folks an idea of what will be presented, and they'll know whether they want to come to that particular board meeting or not. But thank you, I enjoyed it.
This time, is there any new business? Anyone on the board?
I have just a general observation question, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I noticed outside we had a sign-in sheet for folks that came in today. Is that the first time we've done that, or is that standard practice, or what does cause us to?
We're doing that every day. We've talked about modifying the entrance for quite some time, kind of in the same vein that we've done in our schools. If you notice the change from the office person that was out there now is behind the window. We're bringing everybody through the front door, whether it's our own employees as well. So it's kind of goes with the building safety plan. It's not just today. Mr. Hardy, Sergeant Hardy, you want to add any to that?
And I think it would also go, if we need somebody in here, we can look on that sheet, see if they're here, and be able to tell somebody they're here. And it's just good, you know, it's every day. I think that Kathy just stepped back out, but I know she feels a lot better where she's at now, instead of being in the little square box.
The sign-in sheet's a great idea, but I don't know how you are certain that everybody signed in.
Well, on a normal day, they're only.
I mean, like for meetings like this, we got where everybody's congregated in the board.
Yeah, I guess from an everyday standpoint, it's really was the purpose of the modifications, but yeah, you don't get in if you don't sign in. The elevator, I think, is key to a buzzer, I believe. Max, is that right? So you
Or a key card.
Or a key card. The board issued key cards can operate the elevator. That's still the side doors as well, but that records an entry too. And Mac has preached very hard to us about propping open doors, and that's a real no-no.
Mr. Craig, one thing we'd like to do is model what we do for the schools, and we ask in our schools for all visitors to sign in. It takes a little while to get it, you know, where people are just used to doing that. In an emergency, we'd need to know who was in the building if there were a fire or an emergency of another kind. Just like we do in schools, we have a visitor sign in, you log in, we have attendance taken in classes. So we're replicating the security in the school system here at Central Office. Safety and security.
I get all that, but I'm saying that there's no one out there to ensure that everyone signs in. So the effectiveness of the system is subject to whoever signs in. I didn't sign in.
Actually, Kathy Porteous does ask people to sign in when they're in the lobby. Like I said, it takes a little while to get anything working foolproof, but as people get used to having to sign in, we're hoping that they'll just comply. They have no reason not to. So just remember, board members, sign in.
I got it. I mean, I'm saying you got 50 people in the lobby, you want Kathy out there running the hearing. There's no way she can physically ensure that everybody signs in. And that's the fallacy of the system. You got a group kind of getting out there waiting to get in.
You just have to rely on people's honesty and honor. Bottom line.
Well, we can talk about the system
Yeah.
in special
Right.
events, but the overall design of it was really designed for the day-to-day.
Well, I think basically, it's just probably board meeting time. So, I guess my question is, because I didn't sign in, and I apologize, because I flew in. And I'm a rule follower. So, I guess for board meetings, just so everyone's clear that's here, we need to sign in when we come, correct? Okay, folks, we are long overdue for this security out here.
Well, and
Okay?
on the TV screens in the lobby, there will be a message, please sign in for meetings.
Okay,
To remind you.
It's still under construction to a degree.
and we'll continue to remind everybody at each board meeting, but I think it's very, very important with everything going on in the country, it's time. So, thank you, Matt Hardy, whoever instigated all of this, Mr. Craig.
We've been talking about it for quite some time.
Okay, I love the exit door over here. Thank you. Anybody else?
Final question. Are we still on schedule to have our work session in January on curriculum? I know there was some discussion about testing.
We can have a retreat, we can have a work session, that's the board's pleasure.
In the last one, I
Mr.
thought,
Fraser, we can work something out, we
Okay.
can schedule that, work to.
now I do know that all the elementary schools are going from the STEM to STEAM, is that correct? Process, implementing art within the learning, how is that?
It's not really a district
Okay.
initiative, but I would like for us to get STEM going, to be honest. But yes, it is a national movement because STEM has been a pretty established movement in our country. But to add the arts to that, the STEAM Rocky Ridge has that for a theme this year at their particular school. That will certainly, just the STEM part, whenever we get a new science course of study from the state, we will really try to develop what our district's plan about that is going to be. We're really waiting on the state to get that plan.
Okay.
I don't know if I've answered your
Oh, yeah,
question
absolutely.
really or not, but
And this year they will not have a new science plan, as I understand.
they're saying that we will perhaps get the draft course of study out in January. But that means we probably will not have a new implementation of a new science course of study until 2017 perhaps. So, I mean, it's very discouraging to me, but I'm not running those decisions.
In the overall scheme of testing in terms of ACT, that's kind of been a process of evolution here. I guess you guys probably met on the other day, trying to understand a little bit about.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot more questions than answers, but the theory is that the assessments be aligned all the way up to the college readiness, career readiness goal. ACT Aspire is more to the college readiness piece of that. I think Alabama was the only state to really adopt it as a state, the ACT Aspire test. It's given in other pockets throughout, but we're still kind of working our way through that. Hopefully we'll improve that next year. There's a lot of debate right now as to can those be administered on the devices that we just saw? If they can, what restrictions? There's just a lot of discussion. The state superintendent has a task force in place. Currently, I think they meet Friday to begin discussing how those results will work into the accountability matrix, the Plan 2020 matrix, to determine the SPI that we've talked about over the course of time. So a lot of that is still evolving and still under construction.
Do you feel that the 2020 initiative, particularly the ACT testing, ACT Aspire, is a much higher standard than is the previous launch?
I think there's no question. It's aligned to that college readiness goal. It's very much a raising of the bar, a raising of the standards. If you look at the raising of the expectation, if you look at the I hate to say it, but well, let's call them college readiness standards. As I've heard Ms. Dunn say quite often, there's a much renewed, intense focus on using the knowledge, not just storing it and regurgitating it from memory, but applying the knowledge to real life situations. I think that is one of the main components of the increased expectations, the increased level, and tying it to the college readiness. It goes all in the form of the assessments. Anything?
I would just say,
Thought to that
even though
best
we're
I
the
could.
only, I think we now have an assessment in grades 3 through 12 that is in line with what our community expects from this school district. I would say that our former assessment perhaps told us something, but I do not think a board member there would rely on what that test actually measured to represent the quality that we expect from our schools in this district. And I'm very proud and pleased that we're getting some sort of measure like that beginning in lower grades to really help us improve our teaching and help our students achieve at a much higher level. I think we'll see a lot more kids standing in front of us in future years because of this work, like we saw tonight.
And I would guess, if you're talking about a real-life application of knowledge as opposed to regurgitation, I think you might have gotten root memorization. Technology will have a huge part in expanding that out.
That is correct. But we would be very pleased to do a presentation at the will of the board. Our department would. You all just tell us when and we will be there.
January?
You good again?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Barber, are you back at work?
Against orders.
No. I've been cleared to come back to work.
Okay, now, Mr. Gillen, you better make sure, I may have to send you over the hill to check on her.
I can outrun him. Bionic parts.
Mr. Craig, any update on rezoning or anything from the Justice Department?
I still have a couple pieces of information that's on their list that I have to get to them, and I got a big piece of that today, so I'll be submitting that. But most of the information requested has been submitted to them previously, so we will look forward to their review and their questions that they may ask.
Any kind of time frame from them?
I do not know that at this point.
Is the process slowed down any since they had a slight change of leadership in Justice Department?
I haven't seen it. Mr. Sweeney, have you?
What slowed it down was the format in which they wanted the information, and we had to work with the city to get that to them. But that took 7 to 10 days. The city was real cooperative in processing all of the data that we had. During that time, the Justice Department was real anxious to get the material. They understood the process, but it's my thinking that that's on their front burner. And so I think we'll have feedback pretty expeditiously.
Getting the information in the format that they would have preferred it, which is what we ultimately did, should aid in the analysis as well.
Is GIS-based demographics?
I mean, it's GIS, it's all the information to where they can essentially pull up the maps, pull up the proposed zones, the former zones, essentially overlay all the data over a map, just like we do. But they had to have the underlying shape files to be able to do that, and we had to produce those. Or we wanted to produce those. They said they would take in either format, but they preferred that, and that's what we tried to accommodate. And the city has a very good system. They're in the process, or we're right in the middle of the process of updating that platform system-wide. So it was a little difficult, but they very much worked very hard to help us in that regard and did so.
Any other questions, comments? If not, at this time, do we have any public participation tonight? If not, our next board meeting will be December the 8th, 2014. If there's no further business, we are adjourned.